Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Scott Rassatt on the line, and he's founder and CEO over at Rockpaper. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Adam. I'm excited to be here.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at Rockpaper and how you're helping your clients. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career and in business?
Absolutely. So I've wanted to start my company since I was in college. And at the time, I thought the best way to do that and to get started was to go after the biggest company I knew and then start moving on to smaller ones with time. And so I thought, hey, if I start with the most successful company and then reverse engineer what it took to get there, maybe that will help me with starting my own business one day. So for me, that meant starting at Microsoft. So I moved up from California to Seattle, a beautiful city, by the way. And I worked there. I ended up working in Internet of Things for a while, which is an absolutely fascinating business. And then from there, I moved on to a smaller company, a 50-person company called PicMonkey. And there I led the growth team for a while and really learned what it takes to build a tech business at a smaller size. Did that for a while and then woke up one day with my wife and was like, wow, as we think about family and we think about what we want to do with our lives, we should get this business thing started. And so both of us with entrepreneurial mindsets launched our own companies, and we did that while traveling the world for a year. And so as we fast forward till today, we're digital nomads. I'm currently on a 6-person team with Rockpaper, and we're really just pursuing our passions with all we got.
Man, that's an awesome story. I love it. And I think the trend of what's taking place with being a digital nomad, as we call it, and I'm going to have you define that because I'm not going to claim everybody listening to this understands that term. But that being said, the idea of pursuing your passion, adding a lot of value into the marketplace and doing it on your own terms is all possible nowadays. So first, if you can, let's define what digital nomad is and give some advice to those maybe younger entrepreneurs that are a couple of years behind you and they haven't quite made that leap yet to starting their own company. So maybe where you were at when you were in Microsoft dreaming about starting the company. Let's go there.
Yeah, that sounds great. So to start off by defining digital nomad, I'd break it into its parts. So as a nomad, it's just having the freedom to be where you want and where you think you'll work best. And the digital side is what allows that nomadic life by being connected at all points. So as long as there's Wi-Fi, as long as there's some sort of 4G, you can participate in your work, start your own company, do something great that you want to do in a way that's location agnostic. And so a digital nomad life for us has really empowered us to travel to 26 countries this year and find as much creativity and inspiration from our environment as we do from our business. And in terms of advice, if I had to give one piece of advice, and I would say this is for people in startups, thinking about startups, but also probably at most parts of life, is give more than you take. And so even in a startup environment where your scarcest resource is time, when deadlines seem to creep up faster and faster, I think it's more important than ever that you give at any opportunity you have. And there's a few reasons for that. One is I think it gives happiness and purpose even through the darkest of times. Two, I think it gives us perspective on our why we're doing what we do, why we're here, what purpose we're really, really driven by. And with any, with a really strong why, you can achieve almost anyhow. And thirdly, I do think it'll come back around, especially when you need it most, right? Like what goes around comes around. And I think the more you give, people want to help people that are givers. People want to give back to those that have helped them. And so I just think this motivation of give more than you take, it's really hard in practice, probably almost impossible with how much we are given and take for granted. But I think it's a strong thing to live by.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's switch it up a bit, Scott. I want to get into what you're doing over at Rockpaper. So first, tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Yeah, Rockpaper, so named after rock, paper, scissors, is a haircut app for both customers and their hairstylists. And the goal is so that they better understand each other. Hairstylists can grow their business, and customers can have more of a stress-free experience every time they get their haircut. And so we have two main ways we think we can help you guys. One is we believe it's the best consult you've ever had. So everything that's important to you as a customer, be that how you describe your style or haircut, photos of your last great haircut, preferences for things that you like, hey, I'm in a rush today, or I'd prefer if we just sat in silence during my haircut because I think conversation's awkward. Any of those things, all of that is shared with your hairstylist at the click of a button and before you sit down. The second thing is it's a connection that you always have. And so even though you're often meeting with strangers or rotating through different people, for both customers and hairstylists, all your appointment details, be that the consult info we just talked about, personal notes you make, user profile, stuff like that, are saved for both of you guys for next time. So you won't forget them and they won't forget you. That way, as a customer, you know who to go back to, who you might recommend to your friends, but also who to avoid.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. And I love how it's a simple concept, but I'm just thinking out loud in terms of my interactions with getting my own haircut or getting something done. You're like, oh, some days you don't want to talk, some days you want to do this, some days you want to do that, and you don't want to be rude, or I don't know. And so I'm like, boy, that'd be handy if I could just be like, I just want a quick cut today. Let's keep the light on the convo, and didn't have them not, their feelings not be hurt, or all these other things. And I can see it from the development side though, for the hairstylist, for keeping track of clients, and also just as they grow their book of business, people can be kind of transient, so that's really cool. What kind of feedback have you gotten from the users on this, both sides, both the hairstylist, so let's say the business side, and then from the from obviously the people getting their haircuts?
Yeah, we've gotten really encouraging feedback. So we're off to an early start. We launched at the end of last year, and we've been really encouraged by all the signups, both on the customer and hairstylist side. For customers, the biggest feedback is similar to what you gravitated to, actually. They're like, a lot of conversation with strangers is awkward. A lot of it sucks, and a lot of it I wish I could avoid. So if I can pre-fill out stuff ahead of time in a standardized way where, hey, hairstylist, I don't want to talk to you, but I don't need to tell you that. And all I did was click a button because it asked me that. That sort of stuff is way less awkward, and all of a sudden you have a better experience. And I think the second bit for customers is just predictability, right? It's a service they care about that has consequence if it doesn't turn out well. And so anything they can do to add predictability helps. On the hairstylist side, it's exactly what you said, Adam. They love the way to manage their appointments and their customer relationships. They love that they have this history. So a stranger that walks in, they can make an immediate connection and really turn that first-time visitor into a lifetime customer.
That's awesome. So what are the plans for this year? We're starting a new year. We're in January. What are the plans for continuing progress with Rockpaper and taking it? It's already nationwide. An app. What are the plans for this year?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. We have a lot of exciting stuff. New year, new me. No, it's actually not like that at all. We're continuing on the same track of last year, which is really trying to understand what's most important to people and building that for them. So we'll be scaling our 6-person team. Currently, it's very tech and dev heavy. So we're looking for marketing and sales hires. Externally, we're looking to support all stages of the haircut. So first, we're starting with the consult and the appointment history and getting repeat customers, but we'd like to get into things that help with efficiencies like scheduling or discovery and matchmaking. We have a great partnership with the salon guy. If you've seen him on YouTube, he's got 650,000 subscribers. So we're really just trying to help as many people as we can reimagine the haircut experience.
Man, that's awesome. So Scott, if somebody wants more information on Rockpaper, what's the best way for them to get it?
Yeah, just going to therockpaper.com on your mobile device. We are currently a web app, which means that we function similar to an app, but we're online, and it's best used on your phone. We'll soon be launching iOS and Android. I guess I should have mentioned that when you said what's this upcoming year's plan. And so I would just check us out there.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Scott, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about what you're doing over at Rockpaper and how you're helping your clients. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, share this with your friends and family, your colleagues. I mean, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Scott, thanks again for coming on.